welcome to another episode of We Are Never Truly Alone. I'm your favorite spirit medium, Tiffany Rice, and I'm with my co-host and bestie, Mark James Dunn.
Hi, everybody. Happy summer. Late summer.
This is going to be our last summer. Did you guys hear that?
Who was that?
What is that baritone in the background?
That baritone singing. It was so deep.
Is that...
After I just told myself to shut the fuck up.
Right after we were just talking about something very intimate.
Well, we have our very close friend and personal friend.
Why do you keep saying that?
A personal friend.
She's so funny.
Mya Allen.
Guys, I'm so happy to be here.
I'm so happy you're here.
Our families live 12 minutes apart. We are now together forever.
Forever.
Every
There's
time
no
I'm
dismissing
home.
that. It's awesome. So is it weird being home?
No, I love it.
Uh-oh.
I love it. You get to go to Target. Target in the suburbs is like, okay, on a scale of like 1 to 10, 10 out of 10. New York City, 1 out of 10.
Well, because aren't they smaller?
They're small. They're never stocked. They're crazy. They're just like gross. It's not Target. There's no anxiety here. I just spent like the weekend in Western Mass at this wedding celebration situation.
Cute.
Ooh, tell us about that.
Well, my cousins live out there at West in Sherburne
Falls?
Sherburne Falls. Yeah. And oh my God, beautiful property. They just bought it. I'd never seen it before. Like acres and acres of land. I went canoeing on his land. Like
oh my God.
all fire pits, like 6 ponds. There was a whole weed bar in the back. I was in heaven.
What? A weed bar at a wedding?
A weed bar at a wedding.
Wait, can we elaborate a little bit more on
Okay,
that?
so like you walk in. I mean, obviously there's the bar, but in the back, so you have to like look for it. There was the weed bar, and they had like dabs.
Wait,
what? In what world do you see that?
Was it like a speakeasy at a bar where you had to
It was
find
basically
it?
like a speakeasy because they didn't want the kids to be able to like find the weed because there were children there.
Wait, so how did you get to it?
You had to like walk behind the bar and then like down this like little path, and then there was a weed bar.
Okay, but time out. If I was any young age, I would find that bar.
Oh, of course.
Okay, there's no way of hiding it.
Because there was no way of hiding it, but the kids were well behaved and they knew not to touch the weed. But I touched the weed.
And there's all different types of weed that
all
you could...
types of weed, different concentrates. Like any way that you want to consume weed was available.
So
there were like caramels. You could do a dab. You could roll a J. There was rolling papers. There was straight
impressed.
flour.
Oh my gosh.
This needs to be a new thing.
It was so dope. And you know what? Just like the week or two before, I had been to a party in the Hamptons, and it was a House of Puff party, which is like this company that sells like luxury rolling and weed smoking accessories in the city. And you walk in, the first welcome cocktail had THC in it and a whole bowl of joints. So when I'm telling you, I walked in, I grabbed the cocktail. I grabbed like 5 joints. I went to sit down. No one was even drinking. Everyone was just passing J's. And I was like, I'm in heaven.
What? I can't even believe this. But it's all legal now?
It's all legal now. It's like becoming okay.
Yeah, but you know what? Some people really don't like to drink or don't drink for reasons. And like, it just gives another option for everyone to feel safe and be like, okay, I don't have to drink.
Well, listen,
like
drinking adds calories. And I feel like if you don't want to deal with that, just smoke a J and you'll be happy.
And you'll be happy for a long time.
Well, I've noticed more and more of my friends, in this middle-age group have now turned to edibles to help with sleeping and...
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
anxiety.
It's something.
Well, that's how I got into
it. Just
weed
kind of
because I
takes
don't
like
sleep.
the edge off just a little bit, and they use it like people that I was surprised that came out of the woodwork, and they're like, "Yeah, I just do edibles at night so I can get a."
Well, there's still
nice
such
sleep.
a stigma attached to like marijuana consumption, which
it's
is
all
kind
natural.
Exactly, and
It
like
doesn't make any sense. Even
it really
mushrooms,
doesn't.
I'm like, but it's good for you.
People microdose on mushrooms all the time.
Yeah.
For anxiety, for depression, like daily.
Every day. Yeah.
And
instead of taking an SSRI, take
like a microdose of mushroom
and chocolate, and like,
which is honestly something that it's a path I'm looking down now because I've been on SSRI since I was like, I don't know, 15, and I swear I still have not found one that works for me. And now my doctor's like, maybe you should try mushrooms.
Have you?
So I'm on Lexapro, and I've never been on that kind of. I've never been on that kind of drug before, but it works for me. But I was so nervous to go on it. Like I wasn't ready to go on it. But
And how long have you been on it now?
I love it. But he did say if you go on the chocolates, But if you like get the chocolate with the mushroom in it, it's literally made me so like. It's not like I'm obviously people who have never done it before. It's not you're not high. It's like you're not high at all. It just
if you
creates
dose
new
it
paths.
properly.
Well,
yes.
I have a friend that does it every day, and she runs major big businesses all over her place where she lives, and you would never know. And she's so into health and wellness and so forth. Now, have you ever thought of doing any type of retreats with that?
Well, only because we've been talking about it a lot. But yeah, it's time. Even Ciara recently, because my anxiety was really bad in the last 2 weeks, she was like, you need to go on a retreat. So I get nervous though. Like I don't want to. I'm nervous to like make friends or like.
You're nervous, but that's why you're going because you're nervous.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like.
But I also feel like I would love to, like, especially before the new year. I'd love to like put a kick in my ass.
Why don't we create a
retreat?
We should create a retreat. Or we can just be friends and we call it a retreat. That's pretty much what I'm saying. I'm like, no, we'll get Ciara in on the mix. We don't have to do any major juice cleanses like I did in Costa Rica.
No, we're not doing any juice cleanses.
No juice cleanses.
Sometimes just like laying in the sun for 12 days is good.
So to me, that is therapeutic. Yes.
It's
like,
absolutely that.
The beach will heal me. Although the minute I leave the beach, I'm no longer healed. I'm like, wait, reality's back.
I know, it's like continuously taking, like, well, you're supposed to like learn everything you've learned by sitting there and listen to your own thoughts and like moving forward with those and practice them. That's the hardest part.
You know, I don't do well in my own thoughts.
Well, that's why I feel like we were meant to become friends.
Yeah.
Because it's learning how to do mindfulness. It's learning how to take the anxiety down a notch. And there's so many different triggers that will consistently like kind of, you know, push you and prod you to really think like, all right, what are we doing here? Like, what's happening? And instead of reacting the way that you used to react in the past, you can take your resources, take your tools, and be able to hopefully utilize them so you can have a different type of reaction that is beneficial.
Actually, as you're saying that, I'm thinking about you and saying how you love the suburbs because it's like easy to go to Target, but that's an everyday struggle for you to go to like Target in the city.
Yeah.
So
like, why? Wait,
an added anxiety you probably don't even realize that
it's
you're doing.
It's true, but there are parts about the suburbs I also can't stand. Like
1,000,000%.
It's
probably the
slow.
slowness. Yes.
Or like
so
just
slow.
like the lack of delivery food options to me is just not like you can't even get Fresh Direct at my parents' house. I think that's ridiculous. Really? Yeah, they can get like Amazon like. Not even not Amazon Fresh, but like Whole Foods will deliver. But I can't get Fresh Direct. No. Like that's crazy.
I mean, the city has everything, so that's the hardest part. Getting away from everything. And
being
like, oh, well, maybe I don't need everything.
But there's something about being slow in the suburbs. Like I don't ever leave the house when I'm home, and I don't ever feel bad about that. But when I'm sitting on my couch in New York, I'm like, why am I not doing something? Or like, oh, I should be out at this event or this event, or like I could be having a drink with so-and-so and I'm here on the couch and I feel bad about it.
Because there's so much going on and you have so many different resources to be able to go out and do something.
Yeah.
But when you're home, this is your safe place. So it's okay to feel like a couch potato if you want to be a couch potato and just decompress and do whatever it is that you want to do.
Yeah.
You know,
and I'm with my parents too, so like that's a whole different element.
That's
to
a whole different thing.
Yeah,
right. And you can just be yourself because I'm sure if you go out on the streets, people might recognize you, and you know, and then you have to think, well, what should I wear when I go out? Like,
well, first off, I like to dress like I'm homeless. Like that is my aesthetic.
I was just gonna say that.
I like to be comfortable. No chicness. Like it could be actual like. Borderline. The only thing is like I will shower, but like clothes are 10 years old, they're tattered, they're worn. I just want to be comfortable, and I don't feel like it's okay to even walk my dogs in that attire in New York, because like you never know. It's always the times where I look the most homeless, where I have absolutely no makeup on. I'm like, or it's when I'm really high and I'm walking the dogs and someone's like, can I take a picture with you? And I'm like, fuck. Like, my eyes are closed. I can't open my...
Like, can we stop?
I'm like, I was like, it's so great to meet you. Do we have to take a picture? Like, I'm high.
Yeah.
but then they also love that I'm high because they know from the show that I get high.
Yeah.
So it's like they're like, oh, this is so
This is
perfect. We knew
perfect
you'd
for
be
me.
high when we met you. I'm like, great.
You're like, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
No,
Wait a
my
minute.
parents hated
Wait a
about me.
I absolutely love the fact that you live so close to us.
I can't believe it.
You know what I mean?
Like,
We had
no
no
one,
idea.
I know. When I first met you, I didn't even know you were Boston based.
Yes,
And I was upset with
Yes.
Ciara for not telling me that.
I know.
And now,
But she's
like,
in the doghouse for that.
Yeah.
she is. Well, I know. We have to get her down here, too.
Yes.
It's so much fun.
Yeah. Is
Well,
it up
that's
or
what I
down?
mean. Like we will create a retreat for ourselves.
Well, I think our first retreat should be in Curacao.
1,000,000%.
well, let's just do it then.
Yeah.
I don't know what's holding
And
us back.
apparently, they're about to start opening flights from Boston direct to Curacao. I just got an email about that this
I have
morning.
goosebumps.
This morning?
Yes.
Shut up.
Yes.
I'm gonna yell at my husband right now because the only reason that we don't is because we have to go one stop to Miami.
Yeah.
It's like too
and
much. Like
and
that.
also
I
the
hate
Miami
stops.
airport is literally the worst airport that exists when you have to go
Yep.
through customs and everything at Miami. Disgusting.
Absolutely.
No.
Even like getting on the way home, the flight was delayed. We missed it, and it was like 2 days later.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my
Because there's
gosh.
like very
Really?
few
I
flights to
didn't know that.
Curacao. It's not.
I am a nonstop flight girl.
Me
I
too.
really. I mean, unless if I'm with somebody else, that's fine. But I just got booked for a convention and they gave me a stop, and I'm like, I can't do it. I'm gonna have to leave on a different day. That's how solid I
Well,
am.
they
with.
should be doing better by you.
Thank you.
You
Yes.
deserve that. You are the
Yes.
talent. How are they
That's
going to
true.
book you something, a cheap flight, basically?
Right. That's exactly what it
disrespectful.
was.
Well, I hope they're listening.
They
If
should.
not, I will call them.
They should. So, but I did get a nonstop flight, a
Okay,
direct
good.
flight. Yeah.
So do you go
Because-
to Curacao with your family from Boston?
No, so usually I go from New York because it's direct from New York. But either my mom will like come to New York, like take the train, spend like a day or two, and then fly from JFK. But my dad will typically go through Miami.
That's hard though.
My sister's about to go in September for her birthday. She's having like a house party in Curacao. Can you imagine?
Wait, what day?
Wait,
I
should
don't-
we surprise her?
I don't have that many
We're
friends.
gonna- Mark
to
and I-
even
We're
do
gonna be in
uh,
that.
Aruba. I'll just
Yeah.
take one more little
It's
step.
right there.
Yes.
I think she's go. Well, her birthday's the 18th of September, so it's sometime around then.
We're gonna be there.
Well, I was gonna come home on the 12th. It's my birthday's the
Wait,
14th.
you're going on the 12th? I thought you were gonna stay longer.
We can talk about this
Things
later.
that I find out.
So you're not rescuing any dogs in
I
Aruba.
do want to bring a dog home.
That's how I
should.
ended up
It's-
with my second
Oh
dog.
God!
but I
no.
didn't
See, this
end
is
up.
why I don't do it. 'Cause
I went to
have a good
Mexico,
dog.
and every corner, and this is the same thing in like a lot of the islands, you see so many stray dogs that are hungry.
It's so
And like
sad.
even when we were in Curacao, I was just in Curacao a few weeks ago with my mom, and we had like when we were leaving, we didn't want to leave food to go bad. We were like, okay, let's fill up the car. We're gonna go feed the dogs, and we would like just stop and feed dogs along the way so that they could eat. But it's heartbreaking, and all you want to do is take a dog home.
Yeah.
It's so bad. So
It's-
I'm telling you, my
that's
very
amazing.
first experience, I brought a dog home, volunteered flight, brought a dog home, and the family met me at the baggage claims. And the whole family showed up. They gave me a card saying how much, by me being generous with my time, bringing a dog home, it helped them heal from their past dog. They had a dog that passed 2 months prior. And so like I was crying, they were
soon to replace your
crying.
dog.
And then I ended up going back to Aruba 5 months later and did a mission with Wanderlust Jet Setter. And so every single day we helped a different shelter. Even if it was literally I was crawling underneath cacti bushes to get the dogs, or defleeing, deticking the dogs, painting, shoveling poop out of stalls. Like I did whatever it is that they needed me to do. And the best part about that was because I kept on posting on my social media, and I was like, hopefully one of my friends adopts. We got 20 dogs adopted from
That's
them.
Wow.
Yeah, and
I would
that
have been
was
one of those people.
that was Wanderlust Jet Setters is
Okay.
an organization that runs the rescue mission, but I worked with about 5 different shelters, and so I'm going back in September,
That's amazing.
and I'm going to be doing the same thing, and hopefully now with this podcast or wherever, hopefully I get even more dogs adopted, because you're right, when you go to a country like that, there's so many dogs wandering the streets. They may not have the necessary funds to be
Yeah.
able to spay and neuter. And I know Aruba has a kill shelter, and in the kill shelter they
They
actually
do.
painted the kill shelter with like It almost looks like Disneyland.
Ugh.
That's kind of like sick and
That
twisted.
does-
but
yeah,
it
I
has
don't
like
like that.
cartoons of dogs. Like, come here, and people will bring their puppies and just drop them off in a cardboard box in front of the kill shelter. So this
No.
is why I do what I do, because I know that we are able to help rescue and restore. And even if there's donations, guys, if you're listening, donate to Sergeant Pepper's Foundation, Luna Foundation. There's so many different organizations
Yeah, and
to
if you're
be
going
able
on a
to.
trip for like at least like 12 days, just
Yeah.
take one day and do it.
Yeah,
It's one day.
Exactly.
It's one day
You're
that
not
helps
doing
so
anything.
much.
Right.
Like,
Literally.
I
Like,
want to do that.
yeah, I do
Yeah.
it from 9 to 1. That's how they have it
I
scheduled.
want you to
is
connect
like
me
9
with
to 1.
the program that you do it with, so I
Yeah,
can do
absolutely.
I wonder if they have one in Carousel.
that. I was just
I'm
thinking
sure
that.
they
must.
do.
I mean, they're all the same.
Because it's like a sister island.
Well, I already told my dad, like, the minute he's permanently down there, like, get ready because I will pick up a dog every time I go out.
and that is huge.
We have a fence in that house. Like, can't they live in our house?
Exactly.
Well, you already miss your dogs.
I know. Well, I'm just got reunited with them. It's been amazing. I saw them for the first time on Friday after like a month.
Oh.
And they greeted me. My parents were like, they don't remember you. They don't care about you. Blah, blah, blah. And I
Thanks,
was like,
Mom.
yeah, I was getting really upset. And they remembered me. And they like immediately abandoned my father. They stopped sleeping next to him. They're sleeping next
Of
to me
course they did.
now.
Your
I'm
mama.
like, yeah,
Are they your therapy dogs, you think?
for sure. I mean, they're registered service animals because I have such high anxiety. But I do find myself so much calmer when they're around.
Girl, I am going to have to do some chakra work on
No,
you.
I need it. I'm like
I didn't
fucked
realize
up.
your anxiety. You're like, I have
Fucked up.
I
No, but
have
I'm,
five
like,
J's in the I have
high-level fucked up.
5 J's in the car right now. I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Like I need all the help I can get.
Oh
no,
my
I just feel like
gosh.
maybe just come home a little bit more often. Come stay with your parents and just be with your
Yeah.
dogs.
Make
and,
it a
like, just-
priority.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what you
and
have to
just
do.
take it,
It's
like on a
like
schedule and you'll get into it.
because
Yeah.
you're only a few hours away.
It's really
you
good.
know,
I really
like
am. And I love my parents' kitchen. Like I have the ability to cook
Oh yeah, I want to know.
everything.
what do you cook? So wait a minute.
Yeah,
Okay,
let's
so
talk about
for
cooking.
yeah, let's talk about cooking because I wish I could cook more, but I don't. But what got you into cooking?
I feel like if you asked my dad, he would say that like growing up, I was always in his arms, and he was the cook of the family, so he was always preparing the meals. So I ended up being in the kitchen with him quite a bit. I don't know, like beyond that. I mean, that's ingrained in me now that that's the story. So yeah, that's it. But I don't know like what really sparked it for me. But I've been doing it since I like cooking and interested in food since I was like 7.
Oh my god.
Oh my god! I had
love that.
my first business. It was a cake business at 8 years old.
Where was
I
it?
made
Love it.
business cards. It was out of my house. I had
I love
100% profit. It was called Cakes by Mya Creative, and my parents bought everything from like Costco.
Yep.
And so they
love
fronted
a
it all. They
Costco.
backed it, and then I just went and sold it like churches and schools, and I was making money.
I wish you brought.
like,
I wish you brought some Maya's cakes today.
I haven't made that. I was pound cakes, especially that I was making that, and they were just like hot cakes. Like I had my first
Oh my
KitchenAid
God.
in 3rd grade.
Wow.
I love that.
So what is
oh
your
my
like
gosh.
special dish? Like if you're gonna be like, okay, if I'm gonna make you anything.
Well,
what
no,
would you come-
cooking or baking. What would you
I know
prefer?
now. I'm confused.
Well, I have a cookie business, so like I generally say
Wait, what? You have a cookie business? Did
Yeah.
you bring any?
no. I brought nothing.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, we can
anything.
visualize.
I didn't bring shit. No. I started the cookie business in 2020. So I say now that is my specialty because that's really like what people think of when they think of me. But I also love savory dishes. I went to school for savory culinary arts.
Oh my gosh, where'd you go to school?
ICC and or FCI, depending on how
Okay.
you know the schools. And that was in New York City. That was the first time I moved to New York in 2016.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
And so when you moved to New York in 2016, did you start cooking right away, or did you?
Yeah, so I
were you a sous chef,
was okay.
How does it work?
Maybe this is a throwback, but my first restaurant job was at Candida Meister. If you guys know that,
Yes,
Yes.
I know
That's
that.
crazy.
It's
in
like
Braintree.
it's the usual
That is
wedding
crazy.
cake
I'm freaking
mecca
out.
for
Yeah.
Right, 'cause
Boston.
we've-
Yeah.
And I did that in high school. I actually did we did senior projects for school where we got basically the whole spring semester off, and we got to like do our own project and do our own exploration if you want, or you could stay in school. I didn't want to do that, so I worked at Candida Meister, and then I did that for like a full summer, and then I went to college and didn't really do a lot of cooking in college, other than I joined our school's Hillel just so I could cook the Shabbat dinners on Friday. It was like the only access to kitchen I could get.
I guess I'll do this.
I love
So
that.
I started learning the prayers, and I like learned how
Stop
to cook
it.
in the kosher kitchen.
Wow.
I had to like learn all those tools, and then the cook
Yeah, but that's kind
in
of
Jewish,
cool.
yeah, I guess in Jewish culture, like when whoever cooks is supposed to be the one to say the prayers. So they're like, well, you cooked it, so you have to say the prayers.
And you're like, I'm not.
So I was like
You
learning
learned
Hebrew and doing all that, and I did that every single Friday, pretty much all 4 years of school.
Look at how cultured you
I
are.
know.
I know it's such a weird thing, but it was like the only people that would give me a kitchen.
Oh,
So I did that in college, and then I left and I worked at Flour Bakery for 2 years.
I love flour so much.
I know. With Joanne.
Myers
Myers and Chang,
Oh
yeah.
my God, she's so good.
Wait,
Yeah.
did you ever shoot for that bakery?
No,
No,
I just eat her a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I always like
I just
idolize
know
her.
She's like amazing.
She's
I love her
amazing.
cookbook. She's such a sweet gem.
She's a great person. She's a great chef. She's a great entrepreneur.
And then now look at her now.
She's like killing it. I feel like so when I started at Flour, there were only 3.
So you were in the original one in the South End?
I first started at Farnsworth, so that's the second location in like
Seaport?
Seaport,
Yeah.
in Seaport, and then after I was there for about a year, I moved to Flour South End. So that was the first location on Washington Street. I worked there for about a year, and then I left to go to culinary school.
Oh, that's awesome.
Wow.
You
So,
probably
yeah,
learned a lot from her.
I learned so much. They moved me up really quickly on the ranks. Like I ended up bossing everybody around. Well, I'm
Of
just
course,
like
of
naturally
course.
bossy, and so I did all that. I learned so much. I soaked all of it up, and I always thought that maybe I'd go to culinary school and like come back and work and like take over Flour. Not like
And
from
just, like, take
her,
over
but just
her.
to like no. With all respect to
It's like,
Joanne,
sure.
you know?
Right.
But yeah, and I mean, Joanne helped me. So Joanne introduced me to my ex-fiance.
Okay, Joanne.
Wait, all right.
Yeah.
No, she really is so sweet.
She's just like a gem. And her husband,
I wanted to have,
Christopher,
like,
was
another-
always
It's good
so
to
good
have
me.
like genuine people like that in your life, you know?
Yeah.
Oh,
So then
I always get the, which is not, it's so stupid and so simple. It's the citrus tuna salad, and I don't know what the hell is in it.
It's
Citrus.
delicious.
It's so good.
That's a newer one. Like when I was there, they had like the curry tuna salad, which I loved.
Oh,
Mm.
They just have
all
so
the
many.
cookies are amazing.
The cookies are great.
And the coffee's okay, I'm not going to lie. Sorry.
I've never,
no
offense,
offense, Joanne, but.
No. I mean, I'm just
Wait,
like,
where is this located? I've never
See,
been.
there are like 8
Oh,
of
it's right in
them
the-
No, there's
now.
one, like next
Oh,
to the
wow.
hospital.
Back
West General.
Bay,
Oh, wow.
Seaport, Farnsworth.
There's a lot.
South End. There's so many Flowers now.
Oh my gosh.
Cambridge.
We have to bring you.
Yeah.
We should have shot this podcast on location.
I probably was too loud and too busy there.
Definitely
Like it's
loud.
actually that poppin' of a bakery cafe.
Yeah, it's poppin'.
Yeah.
So then what happened after that?
So then I went to culinary school. I was in culinary school, worked at a 2 Michelin star restaurant in New York, hated it.
Well, it's scary, isn't it?
It was just like such bad, like the restaurant work environment is so toxic.
Well, are they like the chefs really scary?
I've heard
Chefs
that.
can be scary. I felt like I faced a lot of like sexual harassment.
Oh, cool. Because the
I've heard
restaurant
that, like,
manager-
Between the restaurant managers and the wait staff.
There's no
and it
HR.
yeah.
People would like shove food in my mouth and be like, isn't that how you like it? Shit like that. And I'm like,
And then like everyone's
Really?
always
everyone.
touching your ass. Like,
Oh my
everyone's-
God.
That's
Like,
Okay,
the
so
thing.
touch left and right.
That's
You walk
what it
in the
is.
walk-in getting touched.
I'm just saying they
Groped.
never did that when I worked at Cinnabon. I had to wear a little bow tie.
Yes, we'd love to hear more about your
I-
Cinnabon
I-
Wait, was it
experience.
the Emerald Square Mall?
No, it was the Silver City
Taunton
Galleria in
Galleria.
Taunton.
Oh, Taunton
My
Galleria.
first job, yes, but I had to wear a
Did you
little
like
bow
work
tie.
alone, basically, though?
No,
How many people worked in that stand with you?
It wasn't it was
Oh,
like an actual shop,
store.
but we had like probably like 3 or 4 on at a time, and I was making the buns. I was
Yeah,
making. I was
honey, you better make
rolling.
those buns.
I was
Wait,
buttering
did your
it
dough
up.
come in pre-made and then you just had to like
No.
roll them? You had to make the dough too.
We made
Oh,
the
this is
dough.
the
Well,
back
I
one.
didn't get to make the dough.
I've
That
never
wasn't
had a
mine.
Cinnabon.
Oh my gosh,
What?
they're the most delicious thing.
They're so good.
You can keep them 30 days in a freezer in an airtight container or 3 days on the shelf. Would you like to try our cinnamon buns with macara cinnamon and lemon vanilla cream cheese frosting?
Absolutely.
Perfect. How about a mocha latte chill? That was my favorite. Made with whole milk. I used to drink those like I was going out of style. It was
That would
delicious.
kill me. Kill me.
Kills
I would
my
eat one
stomach
every day.
now. Yeah, if I had one now, it would be
Game over.
yeah,
Lights out.
game over. Exactly. So, but I never experienced
Like the back
in my
the
Cinnabon.
serving.
I do feel like
I know it's totally different.
Well,
was
I think,
just-
like-
no, I guess it's almost the same.
no. I think all restaurants like face somewhat of the same vibe or
Yeah.
issues, but I think the minute there's like a chef with an ego, especially at like a 2 Michelin star restaurant, they just do the most.
it's that damn ego that ruins it in all
Oh, here we
aspects of
go.
your life.
So
It's
true.
the male ego, if you ask me.
Ugh.
I mean, it's not.
It's not the male ego.
When I was at one high-end restaurant in Cambridge, and I'll never forget, like, we had like a movie star come in, and we had to prepare for her to come in because they did like the star. Have you heard of the hasty pudding?
Yes.
At Harvard.
Yeah.
No.
So like at Harvard, they always have one nominated. I think Jennifer Coolidge was this year.
Yes.
So they had a dinner for her, and it was always at the restaurant I worked at.
Okay.
So they prepare this big feast, right? There's like 8 courses. I don't know. The chef made this soup where it was they had the soup, and then we had this long breadstick.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to put the long breadstick on this little
top.
soup.
Yeah.
So it was like art.
Yeah.
But we didn't fucking know, so no one told us. And
So
we cut
You
the breadstick and put it on so we could walk out with it, because you couldn't even walk out because the bread was so long.
Right.
We put it on her plate, and she flipped
Flipped
out.
out.
No, she literally like made us all go back. She like threw pans. She was like, "This is supposed to be beautiful." I was like, "Oh my god, this is."
Well, I
ridiculous.
feel like she probably suffered a little bit of trauma and needed some validation from her clientele.
I think
But I mean, that's just the spiritual side of things coming through right now. But anyways,
she needed help.
They all need help.
There
It's
was
a
an
little-
ego there. I'm like,
yeah.
I've been
Julianne
thrown.
Moore doesn't care. It was Julianne Moore. She like didn't. She's like, "This is great." Like she doesn't care.
Yeah, but if you go against the chef vision, like,
I know.
forget it.
No, I totally get it.
This
So-
is why I don't work in restaurants
Okay, this
anymore,
is-
and I don't want to manage
So-
people. I don't want people to fuck up my vision, and for me
okay.
to
And-
scream at them, which I would never be that crazy. But I am a micromanager, and it's a really bad quality I have.
You're a micromanager.
Well, at least you know. At least you know. We all have.
I mean, I feel like
Especially in
we're
the
all
kitchen, I
micromanagers.
do feel like I know better than most.
No, of course.
So therefore, I'm like, no.
So is it? Oh wait. So is it hard to like make food with your mom?
Well, I feel like moms and dads are different because like you grew up to respect them, and therefore you're just like their way actually does go. But like I like to cook at really high heats and sear things well, and I will tell you religiously every time I'm cooking in the kitchen in my parents' house, my dad's like, "Your heat's too high," and he'll come when I'm not looking and he'll turn down the heat, and I just have to deal with it, and I'll turn it back on, and I like don't even fight him anymore. But I'm like, last I checked, I'm the one that went to culinary school, and also you still like the food when I make it, so like why are
What
we
would you
fighting
say? What's
about
his
it?
reaction?
He's always just like he loves everything I make, loves it, like requests the same dishes again and again and again. So I'm like, if that's the case, just let me cook it. Now for the most part I'm like, can you guys exit the kitchen or I'll put my headphones in.
I love that. Well, because he's probably thinking like, well, it's because of me. I helped.
Well,
him
he
out.
also is like, I'm a good cook, I know what I'm doing, so like
he's
how-
But he's
playing
the
with you.
original.
Yeah,
he's the
but
original.
we cook very different dishes. He's from the Caribbean. He makes a lot of Caribbean food.
Okay.
I don't cook like that, which I actually want to start learning more of that, especially like as he gets older. I'd like to learn his recipes
I know.
before it's too late.
Oh gosh,
I mean, I'm not killing my dad off or anything.
that's a little
but-
morbid.
You're like, move along,
You're
Dad.
like, can you just type up
Let me
all
take
your
your legacy.
recipes? Yeah.
No, but like he's the type of guy I have to like watch him to learn. I can't just ask him. It's not going to be the same. Like
Yeah, and then my
Right.
mom and dad are the same. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, you just add a little
Yeah,
something. 'Cause
exactly,
my dad's
like-
Italian. He's like, you just roll it.
yeah, a little
And
bit
it's
of this, a little
amazing.
bit of that. And I'm like, I can't figure out what that means.
Oh my god.
But
So
no.
I guess thinking about recipes and stuff, is there anywhere in the world that you would go to like learn new culture, to like create new recipes?
I would love to learn more about like Asian food. I'd love to go back to Thailand. I've been before.
Oh,
I
Mark
just came
went.
back.
Yeah, Mark
Really?
just came back from
Where
Thailand.
were you?
Bangkok and Chiang Mai.
Ugh. So
It
like
was so good. The
I
food.
when I went, I only made it to PP. I missed my flight to go to Phuket. It was this whole thing.
Yeah.
So like I only did like the vacation part. I didn't really like
Oh.
eat the street food and all
Yeah,
of
but I'm
that.
Did you
sure the
go
food was
alone?
amazing
Food
there.
was still great. No, I was with my ex at the time.
Oh, okay.
But I want to go to Bangkok.
Bangkok.
I want to eat like the food.
The
I
crazy
want to
food.
meet the people and learn something in the back of the alley. I don't care.
It's
Like,
What was your
Wow.
take, Mark?
Well-
on that? I know Mark's take, but I figured he could share it with you.
was it
I mean,
scary for you?
It was really scary for me, but it's so interesting to see people smile when everything smells like shit. It's just like everyone's like, la, la,
It
la, la.
literally
Like,
smells like
you
shit
know,
from what he
people
tells
pull
me.
up and like, a truck, elder lady selling oysters from a dirty river, and they're probably delicious. But I'm like, oh, good.
And they're bathing in the river.
Well, itself
Yeah.
is delicious.
To be
like, in
fair,
all
I
the
was sick the
restaurants.
entire time I was in Thailand, like puking so sick.
Wait, because you ate something or why?
I don't really know to this day. I do
you-
have a sensitive stomach, but I was sick
Yeah.
for 4 days straight, like puking the entire
Well,
time.
did you
Wait,
shower
were you-
with your mouth open?
Or did you bathe in the river?
I didn't bathe in the
Did you eat the
river.
oysters?
I didn't eat the oysters. I definitely ate like things on the street, but I would watch them make it to make sure it like seemed okay. It
Did you
never
see the
smelled weird.
monkey in the bowl?
No, I didn't see the monkey in the bowl.
Oh my God.
What do you mean?
It was a live monkey.
I know. Look, I don't want to poo-poo on Thailand, no pun intended. But here's the thing. I love their spirit. I love their Buddhism. I love the practice. The food in the restaurants were really good. Like, I know Phuket's supposed to be beautiful. It's a beautiful country. It's just like they're very visceral. Like they're very like, I don't know. They have no filter. So there's no like, they're not afraid of anything, but they really want to partake in like American culture too. So they take these like monkeys and they're put them in like bowls.
A live monkey.
A live monkey.
Okay.
So they don't move.
Okay.
And then they
Like a
put
fish
banana
bowl.
on their stomach.
Uh-huh.
So they don't move. So they're like kind of like sensitive to the banana. And then they ask all the Americans to feed them.
Feed the monkey.
Yeah. So it's like one of those big-eyed monkeys. So cute.
I would
He was
be.
like
I
this,
would
like-
be.
he was just,
I
like,
gotta
stuck-
Google this.
It
Like,
was so hot out, and I just walked by, and she's like, "Oh yeah, it pissed." I'm like, "I have a stomach ache. I can't even look at that right now." Like it was just like too much. It was like
feed the monkey.
Star Wars. Yeah.
For what?
So I have to pay her to get the banana chips to feed the monkey.
Oh.
I would have
But
just
they put it in the
taken.
bowl so that he can't get out because if it's stuck in the
How
bowl,
big is this monkey?
it's like that big.
Oh my god.
I would
And then-
take them all.
And then
I would
just
just.
push him in.
I would just
Oh.
give them money and take them all.
I literally was like, if I win this $900 million from Megabucks, I'm buying all the elephants and all the animals in Thailand.
I know.
And what are you gonna do with them?
I don't know. Maybe
Backyard.
I'll buy Thailand.
Start a sanctuary, an animal
I know.
sanctuary.
I would love to open up
It's
an
just
animal
like-
sanctuary.
I know, me too. I would love to buy all the elephants there.
But you know
Not
what
to,
though?
like, I don't want to like shit on Thailand. I think it
No,
was
no,
great.
no,
It's
no.
just,
But
like,
I think it's because like, especially people that want to help animals so much,
I know.
and where you saw it and you had that visceral reaction, it's like we're all natural empaths.
I know, it was bad.
You know, I'm
Well,
sure.
why
But
can't
the
we
food
just
was
have the
amazing,
monkey
so
as a
good.
pet and like the monkey can be happy and not on his back?
the
Exactly.
monkey could be happy and ride with you, Maya.
I could give the monkey a little bit of my J and we could all be happy.
I was literally about to steal it.
No, that makes sense. Like I don't want sad animals. I don't
No.
believe in that. I don't
No.
even like zoos. for
Maya, I
that
feel like
reason.
you should do a show. Like I just had a vision of you doing a show with like a little monkey on your back.
Didn't
and,
like
like-
Michael Jackson have a monkey?
Yeah.
Bubbles.
Bubbles.
Yeah, Bubbles.
Well, let's not do
A
that.
chimpanzee. No, I'm saying like a little spider monkey, like just like sitting
Wait,
on
was
her
it, what was
shoulder.
that movie too with the girl who had a little spider monkey? Remember that movie when we were kids?
No, what was that?
Fuck, I used to watch it. Anyways, we'll cut that
It's
out.
up there with Gilligan's Island.
Well, do you want to hear something dark about Gilligan's Island?
Yes.
The professor, I believe, was a serial killer
No,
Get
he wasn't.
out.
in real life.
So the man that
We need
acted
someone to
as
Google
professor,
it. Can somebody Google it? The professor on Gilligan's Island. I'm pretty sure.
what
he was a
classifies
serial
someone
killer.
as a serial killer? How many people do you have to kill? 3?
Well, we'll Google that.
Yeah, is he a murderer or is he serial?
No, serial killer.
She's got it. Jackie's got it. Thank God for Jackie.
Jackie, what
Can we
what
give
is
her
it?
a
What does
round
it
of
Jackie,
say?
type faster.
Use Google Chrome.
I love the first headline is Did Gilligan's Island star turn out to be Zodiac killer?
Oh,
But he's not.
What?
There's no way he's a Zodiac killer.
that's
I
a little
know.
intense. Zodiac is like, wow.
Yeah, that was like a big thing.
This is TMZ. Well,
Because he's
'cause
on Gilligan's Island.
Yeah, he's on the island.
Well,
Yeah,
no one's on Gilligan's.
Been identified as the infamous Zodiac killer.
No fucking way.
See, I knew it. I knew my true
Where's my
crime.
I don't
Where's
know.
true
I
crime?
follow true crime pretty closely. But again,
I know
don't
true crime.
understand any Gilligan's references.
Nothing like a professor to
It's just
screw us up.
theory.
It's all theory.
It's all theory.
Are we sure about that?
Wait, was he hot?
Yes.
He was hot.
No, he
right?
wasn't.
I don't know.
Like Ted Bundy?
Ted
No.
Bundy was hot.
Yeah,
Was he?
was.
Yeah,
Kind
he
of.
was.
No.
He was not bad
There's
looking.
certain
I know, I
serial
feel like the
killers.
professor wasn't bad looking.
No, he out of the island,
I was
out
like
of
12
everybody.
and thinking he was cute. so
Well,
that's
out of
weird.
everybody that was on the island, he was
Did
the hot
Gilligan's
one.
Island star turn out to... His name is Russell Johnson?
Yes.
I mean, anyone named Russell Johnson's a serial killer. Let's be real.
Oh my God, what if I date a Russell?
No, you're
I actually
not.
have a story about a Russell. He is not a. Well, he's dead.
Well, thank God.
We have to check this. This is
Okay. Wow, he was born in 1924. This is the man you got. Oh, okay. Okay, now I saw a younger picture. He's okay. He's
Yeah,
all
can I
right.
see the picture? I just want to make sure.
she was looking at the elderly picture.
He's kind of cute.
Well, if you check
in
out
like
the group of Gilligan's Island,
He was the best looking.
he was
I
the
mean,
best
yeah,
looking
it was
one.
like the.
It wasn't
filter.
Skipper.
I wish you could tell me the man.
It
I
wasn't
lined
the
up with.
captain. Look at the captain. It was the captain, Skipper,
It's the
and
Callan
then
Allen Hale.
Mary Ann was hot.
Mrs. What was the name? Mr. and Mrs. Howland.
Mary Ann. Oh, yeah.
No, because remember.
No,
them-
there's no indication that this man is a serial killer
All
or
right, so
killer.
this is just rumors.
Where did you hear this? Because maybe he came to you in spirit and told you this.
Sometimes they do.
Oh.
No, but ultimately, no, it was on like a true crime show, TV show. This is before podcasts, guys.
Was it on TMZ?
This is like, what? What did you find?
I feel
Okay.
like true crime's like really hitting a spot right
There
now,
is a
isn't it?
Russell Johnson rather, that is a Canadian serial killer.
Oh, so they got mixed up.
I believe that he was known as the bedroom strangler. Oh, I remember the bedroom strangler.
I know the bedroom
Wait.
strangler.
Don't we know someone that
Didn't
happened
he
to?
rape and strangle at knife point?
Yeah, he did.
But he ended up being like a corrections officer or cop.
We only know that he raped and murdered 3 women, but we don't know the total because, we never know. But I think that's different from the American actor Russell Johnson.
All right, guys, we
May
figured
he
out
rest
the
in
true crime.
peace.
Well, maybe
If
if
you
you guys
investigators, just ask us.
maybe you guys can enlighten us. If you guys know more than us, which they probably do. Let's face
They
it.
definitely do.
Feel free to write into us and let us know.
Wait, didn't we have like questions from people?
What other rumor
We
can
did
we
have
start on this
questions.
podcast?
What? So what?
I said, what other rumor can we start on this podcast?
Right? Wait, Mark, can you hand me my phone? We can
Yes.
answer some questions, and
Okay.
we can get Maya's input too.
So we asked some friends
Okay.
to ask us questions.
Okay. Bear with me for 1 second.
I feel like true crime's like really hitting a spot right now, right?
Well, it's
Well,
always hit a
been.
spot for me.
Are you like a Lifetime girl too? Like in high school, you would go home and like watch Passions and Lifetime.
No. I have this weird association with Lifetime because my aunt would always braid my hair and she was a big Lifetime girl. So like I felt like at a young age I got way too much Lifetime exposure.
She would braid your hair.
Like
as
I'll
you
never
were doing
forget the one movie where like the man buries his wife alive in a casket and then she like breaks out of the
But also,
casket.
She wasn't finished. So
No,
she had to finish
but like I
it.
never saw the
my
ending.
God.
Also, I don't remember the ending of that movie.
Oh God! So just like you never know what happened to her.
Correct.
Well, she was obviously raped.
But
and
she
killed.
came out. No, she like got out of her casket, which makes no sense.
It's
Okay.
Lifetime. My mom loves that shit. All right.
Well, some of the things.
Do we have like a category or like are these
There's
just
only
like
a
they run the
couple-
gamut?
There's only a couple questions. Someone wanted us to talk about depression and anxiety, which is kind of
Good for that.
we
what
can
we,
do that.
we talked about. Someone said, does spirit ever come through like, fuck you, Sharon, and still mad at you for what you did? Yes, to answer your question,
Actually-
yes, that does happen.
Wait. So what happens with that? So people really come back as themselves, being like, "I'm."
Personalities
still fucking
remain
mad.
the same. Yeah, personalities remain the same. So a lot of times, but there's no ego involved. So even though it's kind of contradictory, but a lot of times when they want to come through, they will apologize and say, look, I know what you did.
Oh.
You know, I
Wow,
know this
that's
is
heavy.
Yeah.
Wait. So
That is so creepy. I know what you did.
I know what you did last
If I've done
summer.
anything for someone to say that to me.
I mean, we all have, but I feel like, so for people who are like just listening in and getting into this stuff,
Yes.
can you kind of explain how spirit comes through for the skeptics out there, just like people who are just kind of introduced, what it means when they don't have an ego and they're coming through to you?
Oh, it's
Because that's really
glorious.
difficult,
It's
like-
glorious. So here we are diluted into having this ego, and our ego a lot of times will prevent us from saying sorry, or, you know, we're nervous about leaving the house because we're afraid of how we look. You know, like our ego kind of rules us here earthbound, right? But when our loved ones pass, that ego is, this is it no longer exists. It's no longer connected to us on this earthbound realm, and we see things from a higher level of consciousness. So a lot of times, if there was a sudden passing, someone didn't get to say goodbye, or maybe a lot of times in my readings, people will say, I had a fight with them and then they passed away, or they struggled and I couldn't communicate with them and then they passed away. So a lot of times they will come through and say, listen, this is what I had going on in my plate. Like I actually just posted a video on my TikTok about a mother-in-law that just came through, and she owned up to who she was. She goes, look, I know I was not the easiest to deal with, and you need to know that I struggled with jealousy of you taking away my son.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah, and the person receiving that information, but she validated it. She goes, this is exactly how it was. And there was no changing her. This is just who she was. But it was almost that comfort and validation of her owning up to who she was and just saying, I'm sorry, this is how I was, and I understand it now.
Yeah.
You know, because the one thing, when you really get into this like enlightening atmosphere of yourself and learn about yourself more and learn to let go of opinions of others and having your ego really dictate everything, it's such a freeing experience. But the majority of us, if they're not on this healing journey or spiritual journey or awakening or doing the work, going to therapy, a lot of people will just choose to just continue to live their life at this limited aspect of feeling a certain way, and that is derived from the ego, the insecurities, like major insecurities. We have people that we know that suffer from major debilitating insecurities, you know, and it's so sad. It's just like, just let go of that ego aspect and just realize, like, it doesn't matter what clothes you wear. It doesn't matter how you look. It's all about how you feel on the inside. And if you realize we are just here for such a short amount of time, even though there's no frequency of time, you know, just say what you want to say, do what you got to do. Like, I just had an opportunity knock on my door from the weekend, and I'm like, okay, I could just have it roll off my shoulders and say, oh, maybe next time, or just hop on it. And I'm choosing to hop on that ride.
Oh.
So we'll see.
Oh, she's hopping on.
Okay, good to know.
But I had to let my ego out of the way and be like, instead of thinking like, well, what about this or what about that? I had to really just allow myself to say, you know what, I'm going to freaking do it because that's what feels good to me. And I need to make sure everything is aligned with how everything feels and connects with my mind, body, soul.
Wow.
Sorry, we just got really deep. So wait, do you guys
can you kind of connect to that? Because like, I feel like
100p.
It's
I was like thinking like, damn, I must have a huge fucking ego. Like,
no, we all do though.
no, because like I can't leave the house at certain times. Like I do feel like I have debilitating anxiety in a lot of moments, and I also struggle with like body image and just like image. Period.
But we all do, you know.
But I feel like when you're in the public eye, like most of us, it's like you're thinking about yourself, and then you also look at yourself.
Yeah.
Out of your body.
Yeah.
So like, is
really
a part of it?
It is part of it. I mean, there are days where I like think I feel so confident, I feel amazing, I feel great, and I'm being filmed, and then I watch it back and I'm like, holy shit, what told you to like
do that,
wear that, look like that, act like that? What are you doing? And like that, well, I don't watch the show back anymore for that reason, because it's like, good. It's not gonna, it doesn't really serve me anymore. Like, what has happened has happened. I can't change it. I have no impact on how they edit it, so it's like, what is the point in then watching it back and stressing about it?
But people don't see you that way.
They don't. Most don't.
Right.
No, like most.
Because even watching the podcast that I did with you guys, I was like, why was my neck so back like that?
Yeah, we're so critical of ourselves.
Right.
And at those little things that no one sees.
And everybody was like, Tiff, this was amazing. And I'm like, yeah, but I was talking like this. So we are our own worst critic.
Yeah.
But if we learn to let go of that, that would be beautiful. I was, this past weekend, I was with a lot of actors, and there was this one beautiful actress that I was talking to her about spirituality and what I did and so forth, and she was saying how it was difficult as she's aging at the old age of 39, which she is not old at all, okay? But she was just saying, she's like, I'm nervous about aging, I'm nervous about getting certain roles and things like that, and absolutely stunning. And I said to her, because I showed up in leggings, a little crop top, my hair in a bun. It's a Sunday. I'm tired, right? And so I said that. I go, sometimes you just have to have that inner confidence, and I'm older than you, and she said, she goes, you are so stunningly beautiful. It's the energy that I get from you.
And it's from within.
And that's what I'm talking about. I just posted like this Instagram picture, and I'm like, it doesn't matter what you, and I'm such a firm believer, it does not matter what you wear. Like, I'm the most confident in leggings and a tank top and a bun. It's when I feel insecure, when I need to put makeup on for a photo shoot, or dress, like really dress up and like suck it in and wear contouring body shapers and things like that. And
I feel like for people to practice to get into that mode of like, I'm okay, I'm beautiful, those affirmations do help, as cheesy as they are. But I do feel like they help. Like if you write it down, if you're at a point of like, who we had a caller say anxiety and depression. Depression's different, I think. You have to practice like loving
self-love,
yourself. And it's writing it down, it's looking in the mirror, and it's cheesy as it is, it does work because it's just centering yourself.
Done that stuff. Like, I've written notes on my mirror. I've put Post-its up everywhere. Like, probably people have come into my home being like, this girl is absolutely out of her mind.
Maps of you from
So I have had to do that in the past, and it does really work. Maybe I got to get back to that.
But you know what it is, though, too?
Absolutely.
Just kind of like what I was saying before. It's like you can do all the work and feel that confidence in yourself, but when you are in an environment which you are in an industry of ego.
Yeah.
So you can do all the work and make sure you protect your own energy, because that's all you really can do. But it's really difficult. So I sympathize with you, because I'm sure there are a lot of people in your industry that aren't there yet. And so it is all about the appearance, and they have to wear this name brand and look a certain way and be a certain size. And so when you're on this, like, oh, I feel good to be myself.
Well, I've always relied on, like, my mind and, like, my cooking and, like, my abilities and not my looks. And so I think now, having been on TV, it makes your looks more, like, somewhat, like, come more forward as something that's important, because that's what the first thing that everyone comments on. And so it's easy to get kind of sucked into that, if you will.
Totally.
Right.
I mean, those are just the low vibrating people. They just don't go through.
Well, yeah, I mean,
and they may never feel like they ever.
Yeah, exactly.
And some people will never feel like they have to evolve or change for the better, because they don't even realize there needs to be a change. That's just how life is.
Yeah.
Right.
And I get it. Like, doing the readings that I do, I connect on such a deeper level. And I know some of the people where I'll be like pulling in and getting their traumas at early ages, and they're like, but wait, so wait, like, does my grandmother know that I planted a garden? I'm like, what? What? Like, where are we?
I'm talking about your trauma.
Yeah, like,
I love that.
Yeah,
They're
but
just not ready to hear it.
they're not ready to hear it.
I mean, you have to be ready to
okay.
receive it and actually deal with it.
Right.
Seriously.
So even like when it comes to like looks and stuff, it's the same. I find that, I can rock leggings and a hoodie and a bun and feel so confident. But then, like, if I'm in a situation where there's people that are just hyper focused on their appearance all the time, which I'm sure you are, because you guys have the professional hair and
BravoCon,
makeup.
even, like, thinking about that is just like,
what is it? BravoCon.
People are like already working on, like, I don't know. I don't even know what you do, freezing away your fat and shit. I don't fucking do that. Like,
I know you don't. There will be nothing left of you.
No, there would be something left. And, like, these are the people that are smaller than me, but I'm also like, no. And I'm also going to order the French fry the day of BravoCon and eat it.
You should, though.
And you know what? I'm just going to tell you, I've been in the convention world. I know my Comic-Con conventions are definitely different than BravoCon, but I've been to freaking a million fucking Comic-Cons in over the past 10 years. I've been a guest since 2010, and like, that's just bananas. I mean, there are some people. I did 90s. I was a guest at 90s Comic-Con, which is a great convention, or 90s con. But they did have people helping with hair and makeup if you needed it.
Yeah.
but there were no like dressing room changes or anything like that.
Really?
Everyone has stylists.
BravoCon
We
is
have
totally
we
stylists.
have to fly out our hair. We're flying out our makeup. We're flying out all of our people. It actually costs us money to go to BravoCon.
Stop it.
Like, we don't get compensated the way that we should for all the work and the effort and the people we have to pull out for it to be appropriate. And I'm like, I thought this was reality TV.
I was gonna
Like,
say-
it was supposed to be like reality.
Is this mandatory that you
it's
get
not-
hair and makeup?
It's not mandatory, but it's like
Pushed
also
on.
if I'm the only one not in full glam and I'm in like the group pictures, you're gonna know the difference. Like, I don't do my makeup the way a makeup artist does.
Yeah, are you gonna have a glam squad come?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's insane. I mean, that's great.
Ciara and I are sharing,
surprised,
but
though.
luckily, so we
Every
get to
time
split
I
the
watch
cost.
show, it's like,
So, no, I mean, but that's just insanity to me because, again, like there are some really like high end celebrities too
Yeah.
that I see, and most conventions will either have like a makeup artist or stylist on hand, but everybody
Like for a
is-
touch up, maybe.
yeah,
right?
for touch up, but ultimately everybody just kind of takes care of their own stuff. I mean, I'm sure, and I understand why you guys are doing what you're doing,
Yeah.
but again, it's like that. It's like if you didn't, you'd feel
right.
insecure.
Right. I feel like,
So
oh,
now
like
you're
I
part of the-
didn't even do enough. And I'm
And
always
can I
like
just-
on the more casual side of things anyway. Like, I'm
Yeah.
never like the glam girl because that's just not who I am.
I'm just going to prepare you now if you don't already know, but convention lighting is the worst. So
No,
you know
I
what you
was at
should do?
BravoCon last year. Like, I've
Just walk
dealt
around
with
with
the
your own-
horrors.
Oh, okay, so you've done
Oh,
this
you were there last
before.
year.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You know what did work though? When I was at 90s Con, some celebrities had a ring light at their station. So I don't know if you're taking pictures at your station when you do the meet and greets, or if it's just celeb photo ops, like a celebrity.
No, so they do different
Photographer.
things. Like, there are going to be rooms where you're just like there to meet whatever people paid to meet you, which that in itself is just like, can you imagine paying to meet me?
Well, I will write you
Yeah,
a
I
check.
have like
Just don't
8
cash
people
it
in
for
my
a couple
DMs
weeks.
are
No,
just
just
like-
kidding.
freaking out.
It just like
80 people probably.
doesn't make any sense. I'm so normal. So I always try to make them really fun, and try to interact with the fans as much as possible. Like, do something stupid, pose dumb, like whatever.
Yeah,
so it's
cute.
just not like,
Right.
hey, nice to meet you. You just paid all this money, like hi and goodbye. I feel like that's not
like a book
people.
signing almost.
Yeah, like you're not getting
yeah.
your money's worth. Like,
Yeah.
if you just people pay at least $3,000 to even enter BravoCon.
Yeah,
You might as well
Wow.
like,
because it's a 3-day thing, right?
yeah, it's a
And
3-day.
then all the food is included or something, right?
Well, that's what they say.
Yeah, well, not really.
Yeah.
Pretzel.
Wow. Wow.
Oh man. Well,
So I will have to
Insanity.
be very zen and clear and chakra cleared before then.
Well,
yes.
you know what? This is great because this is the first episode that we're going to have with you, and we will clear your chakras. And when you come back, I'd be very interested
Yeah.
to hear what you
Oh.
have to say.
I mean, I'm going in with a much different attitude this year, I will say. Like, I'm
Good.
just like, I'm going to have fun with it. I'm not going to stress about it. It's just going to have to, it's 3 days. Like, you
Yeah.
can do anything for 3 days. And as much social anxiety as I have within me, like,
Where is this taking place?
Vegas.
Holy
I've never
mackerel.
been to
Okay,
Vegas.
never mind.
That in itself is scary. Last year was in New York. It was close to my house. Like, I was able to get into a cab and be there in 5 minutes if I needed to. If I was running late, I could run home and grab something type of thing. But that's obviously not going to happen this
Well,
time.
the
around.
hotel should be connected to the convention center.
It's not.
I was gonna say you should try to find somewhere.
So they're
so
they're
close.
housing us. But I guess apparently it's like at the very beginning of the strip and not where the actual festivities are taking place. So it's going to be interesting.
Hmm.
It's also funny because there is like a Bravo hierarchy, basically. Like, we are not the housewives, and
Oh gosh, I just had to deal with the tiers of celebrity.
like
I was the bottom.
if there are
bottom of the
5
barrel.
cars available and your name is on one of the cars, but like
Least
someone
everyone is-
correct like sees that she has to wait before me, like she's getting that car, and that's
Wow.
just how it is. And so you get like the bottom of the barrel for the slim
That was
pickings,
me this
basically.
past weekend. And then I became friends with the driver, and they gave me their numbers, and I was like, thank you very much. And so I got my own
That's what I have
driving. I got everything.
Just do that.
to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and that sucks that that's happened, but I can totally relate
Yeah.
because that's happened to
I
me.
mean, it just is what it is. Like,
Yeah.
It's not going to change.
You're right. It's not going to change. So it's just like
That's
just
okay.
being okay
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah.
Like, just have fun with it. Have
Right.
fun being there and create like this an amazing experience because that's exactly what it's going to be.
Yeah, I have some of my best friends coming,
That'll be
so
fun.
at
Yeah.
least like we're gonna try to make it as girl weekend as possible and less about work.
It's going to be so fun.
I know.
think
Go
so.
to a pool party.
Maybe we will. I don't know if I have time. Like I have a very packed
know.
schedule, and I'm trying to see Usher.
Oh
And
my
Beyonce.
gosh.
And no.
No, Beyonce won't be there. Usher will be
Kylie
there, and
Minogue.
Adele.
Oh,
Kylie
Adele.
Minogue is there
She's coming. Not this time, but she's coming in like January. She's gonna be amazing.
for a residency. Good for
Oh,
her.
I didn't know that.
We should all go.
We should
I don't-
all
I've
go.
never been to Vegas.
Yeah, well, I'll
Oh,
let
God,
you know
you're-
how it is.
I don't know if you can do it. It's a lot of energy.
New York was a lot for me.
New York is a lot for anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah,
tired
it was
all
a
the
lot
time.
of energy. I was wiped out after we got back.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
That's why I have a backyard.
What about LA?
Well, we just went to LA. Ciara and I just went to LA.
Oh, that's right.
On a really spur of the moment trip. We booked it like 2 days before to just record some podcasts with other people
Yeah.
and go on their shows and do some podcast swaps. And it was fun, but LA is also different. Like having
So
to
different.
drive and figure out traffic and all of that. Like there was a time where we were in the car for 30 minutes in the same spot. We were just like,
I heard
And then
that.
you have to like go make reservations and
oh,
meet
it's
people at restaurants and not
Yeah.
really go.
And then like
mingle and
I mean
walk
I stayed with a friend, a really good friend who's also coming to BravoCon, and she'd be like, yeah, you know, we can drive, but if we drive, like we can't drink, or like you can drink but I can't drink. And I'm like, well, I'm not drinking by myself. And it's like all these things to plan.
Weird
Who has
things.
time for that?
Yeah, you can't Uber because it's like so expensive.
It is. Yeah, LA's weird. It's like big and beautiful and obviously sunny and nice, but it's also everything's far away.
It's too much.
There's
for
no
me.
public transit. I don't get that.
I don't know.
And
New
like
York
God
is-
forbid you walk. I was like, can I
people
go?
are like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I was like, can I go walk to get a coffee? She's like, you're gonna look like a loser. And I was
Really?
like, yeah, she
Which
straight up
doesn't
said
make
that.
any sense to
Oh
me.
my god.
And I was like, but I'm
It's a
just trying to
weird
get a
thing.
coffee. Like, why is it that complicated? She's like, get it delivered. So I'm like, okay, so I have to spend $20 for a coffee to get delivered when I could just walk and look like a loser. I'll look like a loser.
I know. I still don't understand that.
Oh my god.
I looked like a loser.
Well, I'm a loser with you because I feel like walking is nice.
I like
Walking
to walk.
would be nice. I
Yeah.
figured because I
And
feel
the
like
weather?
everybody's like in shape in LA and
Yeah, it's just the
Well-
other thing is there's no sense of urgency there, and I'm just like from the north. I'm not used to
Where
that.
it's like, okay, let's do this
Like,
now.
Yeah.
oh, hey, how are you? Can I get you a coffee in like 5 hours? I'm like, no, I want it now.
right. I mean, we need immediate
Not 5
service.
hours.
Yeah.
It's tough enough if we drive into a Starbucks here in Massachusetts.
And there's a line.
I will wait. Like I've waited 20 minutes
Yeah.
in
And I'm
my
not gonna
car.
Uber it. I'm just gonna go get it. I'm
Yeah.
just gonna walk to it. I'm just
yeah,
gonna
but
go
going
get
to
it.
get it is so different. There's a freedom there.
I love going to get it,
Yeah, I love it.
you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just
Well-
feel like there's a lot of other states that are extremely slow and like laid back. And I whenever I visit, yes,
I
whenever I
can't do the
visit
South.
any type
can't
of
do it.
states other than Massachusetts, I feel like I project like this like raving bitch.
Oh my god,
attitude.
100%.
Because I'm like,
Me
all right,
too.
can I just? There's points where I want to just say, can I just go back there and do it myself?
truly,
yeah.
like,
Wait,
let me just-
that time you were at a coffee shop and then someone was in front of you, was taking too long. You're like, I'll just pay for it. And you paid it.
Yeah, that's what happened. There
it's
was
like, oh, they can't find their card, or like,
They
oh,
couldn't- they
my,
were like-
my Apple Pay's not working. Like, just
Right,
get
like-
out my way.
I did, and that's
I'll pay for it. Just get out of my way.
That's what I did. There's 3 people in front of me. They were together and like, "Whoa." And I'm like, I'll just take care of that. I said to them, I go, if I can go in front of you, I will pay for your order. Do you mind?
Well-
and they were like, oh my gosh, absolutely. And I'm like, thank you. And I'm like, just put whatever they want on my card. I just
Yeah.
need to do things.
get-
I'm like, get
Let's
your shit
go.
together.
Let's
Well,
go.
you
We need
guys
to
saw
go.
me in New York when that woman was walking slow in front of me, remember? And I like made the hand
And
gesture,
she got
like,
mad at you.
are you going
She
to
was
make
like-
a choice? And then she got mad at me. And I was like, this is New York. Like, if you don't know where you're going, step aside and
Oh,
get
that
the
was
fuck out of my
weird,
way.
I thought she recognized you. I totally missed it. And then I
Oh.
realized that the exchange was kind of negative. And I'm like, oh,
No, it's
No,
really
I was
bad.
like, move,
out the way.
move, bitch.
Out the way.
Get out the way.
That's it. You're like, you're not saying it right. 'Cause I'm like,
Move.
all right.
That
So,
was fun.
yes, I think it's a good time to thank you for being on our first episode with you. But there's going to be another
Of
episode
course.
after you are like aligned, and
Yes.
we'll take a dip in the beautiful pool behind us.
And eat some Caesar wraps.
Hell yeah.
The next one will
With
be
French
from the
fries.
hot tub.
Yes.
Oh my God, how cute would that
Yes.
be?
Well, no, we can actually make that a reality.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's
Actually
do
would be
that.
really
So
fun.
after
Chop
we
time
eat,
machine.
we're gonna hop in the hot tub.
Well, thank you for having me.
coming. We
All
love you so
right, we
much.
love you,
We
Maya.
all the people in my head.
Don't
love
worry,
you.
we'll take them all out of your head after this break.
I love that.
So, yes, we will come back with Maya again very, very soon. Stay tuned, guys. And we love you. Thank you for writing all your beautiful reviews and hitting that subscribe button for the We Are Never Truly Alone podcast. And until next time.